Stacia Cosner, Deputy Director of Students for Sensible Drug Policy and 5-year resident of the district. I'm here to testify today in support of Sections 6, 7, 8, and 9 of Bill 2466. Many people have and will testify today in support of creating a regulated market for marijuana sales for reasons I support, including ending the racial disparities inherent in marijuana-related policing, shifting the existing marijuana market off the streets to behind the counter, and generating tax revenue for our city. But today, I'd like to talk about why regulating the sales of marijuana for adults will actually create a safer, more just DC for our young people. How a young mind is impacted by marijuana is a topic of hot debate. But no matter the resolution to that debate, any objective look at the evidence will demonstrate that the current system is far more harmful to youth than marijuana itself. Any claims that there isn't a current, vibrant market for marijuana in DC would be fantasy. The existing unregulated marijuana market puts power and control in the hands of criminals and cartels. In many parts of our city, that thriving market makes streets less safe for our youth, who are often exposed to the violence inherent in an illegal market. And for those young people whose parents are marijuana consumers, what kind of person would think it's okay to threaten a family's stability, housing, or earning potential because they choose to wind down at the end of a day with a joint instead of a glass of wine? Dealers don't check ID and aren't bound by rules governing health, safety, or types of products that they can carry. But there is no question that a business whose license depends on strict adherence to the law will protect that investment by restricting sales to adults. Evidence that regulating marijuana helps decrease teen use continues to grow. Since Colorado established a tightly regulated legal medical marijuana market in 2009, marijuana use among youth in that state has been declining year after year and has dropped below the national average. The facts are that marijuana is both frequently used by adults and readily available to both adults and young people. It would be wonderful if we lived in a world where young people didn't use substances like marijuana or alcohol, but a century of prohibition and 4 decades of a devastating drug war have failed to create that utopia. It is time to end the failed experiment of marijuana prohibition. It has enriched cartels, empowered gangs, and made criminals out of otherwise law-abiding citizens, while failing to serve the young people it was designed to protect. I urge you to vote in support of a more sensible system for marijuana control regulation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Ms. Cosner, thank you for being here. I really appreciate your testimony. One thing you said in particular, you said marijuana use among youth in the state of Colorado has been declining year after year and has dropped below the national average. Mm-hmm. What is the national average?
You know, I think I would be just guessing a number if I were to come up with one right now, but I would be happy to look into that and get right back to you.
Okay, and when you're doing that, could you also provide us with what the average is in the state of Colorado that you were talking about?
Sure. I apologize for not coming prepared with those figures. I just knew that it was a decrease below the national average. But like I said, I would be very happy to find those figures and get them back to you today.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I just have one more thought on this panel. I want to again thank you all for being here. I don't have any more questions, but I don't do this very often, but I did want to read a part of just one sentence out of Ms. Cosner's testimony that I think is very important that the people hear again, and that we make sure we get on the record. I'll wait till the phone stops ringing. She said in her statement, "It would be wonderful if we lived in a world where young people didn't use substances like marijuana and alcohol, but a century of prohibition and 4 decades of this devastating drug war have failed to create that utopia." I think it's extremely important. That is a very key part of what we're trying to do in the District of Columbia, and recognize that reality is out there that is better than what we have today. So thank you, Ms. Collins. Thank you all very much.